the top.
According to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, in the United States today, 1 in every 5 adults suffers from some form of mental illness. Anyone, regardless of race, gender, or socioeconomic status, can fall victim to one of the many forms of mental illness that can take over a person's mind and make it hard for them to get through each and every day. It is time that we take action to make sure that each of the 44 million people in the U.S. directly affected by these diseases get the help that they need to live a long, happy, and healthy life. The Mayo Clinic defines mental illness as a wide range of disorders that affect your mood, thinking, and behavior. Of the 44 million people diagnosed with mental illness, 60% of them did not receive any treatment by mental health services in the previous year. Depression is the leading cause of disability in the world, making it a major contributor to the global burden of disease. Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States, and 90% of those who take their own life had an underlying mental illness that was not appropriately treated. When mental health conditions are left untreated, they not only have devastating effects on the individual suffering, but also on their loved ones and society as a whole. The National Alliance on Mental Illness estimates that serious mental illnesses cost America approximately $193.2 billion in lost earnings each year. 46% of homeless adults are living with severe mental illness, 20% of state prisoners have a recent history of mental illness, and 70% of kids in the juvenile justice system have at least one mental health condition. Of the many youth diagnosed with mental illness, over 1/3 of them drop out of school at some point, which is the highest dropout rate of any disability group. Some of the major contributors to the lack of treatment for mental illnesses are the stigmas that surround being diagnosed with one. People with mental health conditions must first suffer and struggle with the symptoms of their disorders, then they must also deal with the stereotypes and prejudice that stem from the public misconceptions about their illness. These factors create a society that only amplifies the symptoms of mental health conditions and creates a negative environment in which the sufferers feel unsafe and uncomfortable talking about their conditions and seeking treatment. As you can see, the statistics are too high and the numbers are too alarming to continue ignoring the prevalence of mental illness in our society. It is time we make this issue a top priority locally and nationally. In order to do so, we must fund, support, and promote organizations that have already made this issue a priority. Mental Health America is the nation's leading community-based nonprofit that has been dedicated to addressing the needs of those living with mental illness since 1909. Their goal is not only to help people get diagnosed and recover, but to promote mental health as a critical part of overall wellness, provide prevention services, and promote methods of early diagnosis and intervention. On their website, they offer self-screenings for mental illness as well as screenings you can take on a loved one's behalf. They also offer information on each mental health condition and how to get the help you need to recover and stay mentally healthy. They offer programs in schools and on college campuses, in work environments, and in minority communities in order to promote awareness and reach those affected that have not yet been diagnosed. Imagine a world where the 1 in 5 adults suffering from mental illness are able to overcome their conditions and take back their lives. Not only would they be able to lead happier and healthier lives individually, their loved ones would be positively impacted as well. If mental illnesses are treated and taken seriously, the nation would be filled with more successful adults who are able to reach their full potential and contribute to society in a positive way. Healthcare costs would decrease due to less hospitalizations for these conditions. Kids affected would remain in school and receive a full education and go on to join the workforce. And homeless people would get the treatment they need to take back their lives and get off the streets, and the number of adults and children in the justice system would decrease significantly. This organization has established over 200 affiliates in 41 states, but they need our help to continue expanding. If you choose to support Mental Health America, you will help create an environment in which mental health conditions are addressed, promoted, and supported by those affected and also those who are not. It is our duty to make mental illness a priority in our community and in our nation. Funding this organization is the first step we can take to creating a happier and healthier world that has broken free from the chains of mental health conditions.